Hey everybody, this is your host Kenny Flannery, the Freestyle Travel Show. I'm in Reno, Nevada, so I record this episode. It's a bit of a freestyle show, as it were. A little bit tired, but I'm gonna get through this one, because like a few of these episodes I get to be in a hotel room. How freaking sweet is that? I just realized that. A lot of these episodes, it's a good place to record it. Whenever I luck out, I get to be in a hotel room, record it. It's kind of one aspect of this episode. It's the casino culture. Casinos, I'm in Reno, like I said. I'm in, where am I? Circus. Casinos give rooms away like water. So if you're traveling, I should do like a whole thing just on casinos. I thought about doing this episode. In fact, I started recording one and I was just like, nope, not going to do it. A little too tired. And I don't know how much people are going to care that much. But, because I can sum it up real quick. Casinos give out rooms like water. Because what? A maid's got to come clean this thing? It's going to take them less than an hour? Or are they getting minimum wage? Maximum wage? I don't care. It's going to cost like $10 for me to be here for the casino. So for a couple nights. Well, as it is 4 nights, but multiple stuff. I'll get into it. But basically, it costs them nothing. And if you go and gamble or buy a few drinks or get some food, like they paid for the room. And hopefully, on their end, hopefully you stay and you gamble. So anyways. But yeah, lucky me. Hotels seem to be an easy place for me to record these episodes, so that's where I'm at, but it's just going to be a catch-up episode, and there's a lot of funky stuff that's gone on, especially closer to Reno since the last episode. Kind of a goofy one, couple 3 weeks. So the last episode, if you listen to it, I was in Portland, and I went to 61 breweries in a day. Started at 8 a.m., went until 10:30, 11 at night, a little bit later, and yeah, my buddy set it all up, and it was freaking awesome. Listen to the episode. There's all kinds of good audio in there. Me talking to my buddy, me talking to both of us talking to bartenders and stuff. Great episode. So that's where I was at. And my goal after that, I'm going to take a sip of beer. Man, my throat is dry. Drinking a Sierra Nevada Tropical Torpedo IPA, which is okay. Pretty good for casino work. So, yeah. Anyways, we were, there. And my idea after that was, I wanted to see my friend in Bend. Just a little bit south of there, and then I wanted to see some friends in Chico, California, and Sacramento. And then also this girl popped into the mix that I almost went to see, but let me start with Bend before I get to Reno and everything else. So pardon. I started hitching to Bend, and I told my buddy, I've kind of got, this is a story of like getting iced a little bit and not getting iced along the way. A bunch of stuff happened. It's crazy how much stuff happens in like 2 or 3 weeks. So anyways, I'm going there, and I told him I was coming, and he was like, yeah, go for it. And then I wasn't hearing from him like in the immediate, but on the way there I was like, oh, Mount Hood is right there. I would love to get up on top of that thing. So being that I hadn't heard from him quite yet, and Mount Hood was right there, found a trailhead, and I did. I walked quite a ways out of Portland. I walked like an hour or two before I got to a good spot to hitch, kind of, and finally hitched 2 or 3 rides, and some couple dropped me off at a trailhead. I hiked and hiked and hiked, and I got almost to the top of Mount Hood. Like, you need ropes to get to the very top, but I got probably as far up as I could without ropes, and camped there for the night. Super windy, but incredibly beautiful. And when I woke up in the morning after a windy night, I was just like cloud soup as far as I could see. I just looked out, and it was freaking awesome. I think I posted some pictures, or a picture on Instagram, maybe? I don't know. Check out Hobo Lifestyle on Instagram or Hobo Lifestyle on Facebook. Posted on at least Instagram. But freaking beautiful. So I hiked down from there. People were skiing. I guess I ski year round up there on Mount Hoodish kind of area. That was kind of a trip. I got back to the road, hitched a few rides, and I got to Bend. Trying to get in touch with my buddy. I'm not hearing from him. I'm going to a couple bars, killing time. Go to a brewery, killing time, drinking beer, making short-term friends, and yeah, I'm just not hearing from dude. I still haven't heard from him. So before it got dark, I started hitching south, and someone had told me about Sun River Brewery, so I'm like, all right, well, if I'm going to hitch south out of here, I'll go hit that up. And I hit it barely. I was kind of getting short and quick, slow rides, and then right at past sunset, I got a ride. Got there, went to this brewery. Whatever, it was okay. Plenty of places to camp, though. It was just all woods, so I did that. And when I woke up in the morning, I was like, Chico, that's where I want to be, Chico. And I got a ride from someone who I thought was going to Marysville. Real cool dude. He was like relocating. He was making 3 trips between there and Washington, Marysville, which is right by Chico. But as we were getting south, I realized he was going a different direction, which was fine. So I hit up a buddy in Quincy, California, which is close to Chico, but on the sort of east of there. And this dude's awesome. I met him on Couchsurfing originally. And Quincy's kind of a cool little town. I wouldn't call it a mountain town, even though it's surrounded by mountains, but you get the idea. But he's cool. He's just like a gear nut like I am. So just talking about the bivy pack, and then he had all these other ideas, and he's done like paragliding, jumping off mountains with parachutes, basically. Big ones, small ones, road and planes. He's done a bunch of like action sports and just hiking, and just really fun to hang out with. So I ended up hanging out with him for a couple days, talking gear, going up to, he got a tower built above his house, like a lookout fire tower kind of thing. Checked that out. Went to the river. He had this cool little raft. Pretty cool little hit. And I was like, all right, I'll go to Chico. Got a ride there. Ended up catching up with a couple friends, playing disc golf, eating good food, going to a bunch of breweries. Chico's a cool little town. It's like just north of Sacramento. If you're ever in California, it's worth a hit. It's where Sierra Nevada is. So obviously I went there. I think day one. I went to, or maybe not day one, because I got sidetracked. I ran into this guy who owns he presses apples and makes his own cider. I ran into him real quick, just coincidentally, and derailed the night into a kind of a fun one. But yeah, ran around there, and then I was gonna head south. And then, so here's the deal: when I'm heading south, I'm gonna start hitching. So I'm walking out of town, but I'm 50-50 at that point, because this girl, Liz Stewart, who's been on this podcast, she's all of a sudden telling me she's in San Francisco, and she's got a room at the Holiday Inn, I guess Fisherman's Wharf. She's got a free ticket to fish and an open seat in a car riding to LA the day after. Whew. So I'm like, all right, that sounds freaking awesome. That's a good objective. And then meanwhile, there's my friend Aaron, who I gotta see. There's no way I come to Northern California without seeing him and catching up. So he's on the track too. So right when I start hitching rides, it's like, whichever one happens. Like if I get a ride going to the Bay though, like I'm going there, and I'm gonna dig into that situation. But I got kind of a later start and was doing a lot of walking from the neighborhood I was in. So by the time I started getting rides, it just turned into getting to Woodland, actually, which is where Aaron's brewery was. So I'm like, all right, sweet. And I ended up getting a ride from a cop. I got dropped off on the highway, And then a cop picked me up after I was walking for like an hour without getting a ride. And he's like, "Where are you going?" I said, "Woodland is on the way." And he said, "Where in Woodland?" I told him the brewery. He dropped me off the brewery, and this police officer. So that's how that night ended up. Caught up with Aaron. Pretty freaking awesome. The whole fish San Francisco thing would just have to, not happen that time. But ended up catching up with Aaron and company for a couple days, something like that. Going to good breweries and pop back up to Chico after that. I saw another friend, a girl I'd met in Ireland, also lives in the Sacramento area, so that was cool. Caught up with her for a night, and then she gave me a ride heading towards Chico, and hitched a couple rides up there. I'll take a swig of beer, if you don't mind. I like getting all this stuff off my chest. It's cool. Yeah, it got a little funky here in a second. I'll get to the whole Grass Valley situation. This Reno thing planned out. But yeah, I went up to Chico again. Fire is real bad up in Redding. So you can see the smoke. Thick. Like we were playing disc golf in the smoke, just breathing it in. But yeah, finally got out of there. And then my idea was Reno. So I get these free rooms in Reno. Like I was saying, they give them out like water. And I knew I had at least 2 free nights. So I was like, cool, I'm going to start heading east. It's my idea. Just want to start heading east in general. So Reno will be like a good, just chill out. Just, free hotel room. I'm going to sleep for ages. Do what I want. But I was thinking I would stop in Grass Valley and see this girl I know. But I was pretty sure she was going to flake out on me. 'Cause she's done it before, and it's usually how it goes. But I was like, I have to go through there anyway, so I'll hit her up. Just see what happens. And I got a late start at Chico, and by the time I got to Grass Valley, it was dark. Hitch a ride from a real cool, bunch of cool people, actually. And, got there dark. And sure enough, I heard from her. Because then it was dark. I was like, I'm going to hit a brewery and find a place to camp. And she's just like, I might have work for you tomorrow. So still, I'm just like hedging my bets. I'm like, I'm just going to keep walking up the highway and camp somewhere near the highway and wake up and probably keep going to Reno. But she was in touch and like, might be some work for you tomorrow. And work in California always means marijuana harvest. So anyways, it seemed like pretty legit. And then I was surprised. Like I had to walk for like an hour and a half just to find a place to camp. Like Grass Valley, small town California. You'd think I'd be able to sneak off into the bush anywhere, but no. I had to walk for a while. Finally found a place, camped, woke up in the morning, got a message from her, phone died, walked, found a coffee shop, plugged in. Boom. She's like, I'll pick you up in 2 minutes. She did. Chugged the coffee I had to buy to get in the coffee shop, and we're driving 40 minutes, and we go to some freaking pot farm in the middle of nowhere, and made $60. That was cool. And ended up hanging out with her for a couple days. And it got a little bit goofy. I caught up with her. She wasn't drinking. She said she hadn't drank for like 21 days and was going for 90. I don't believe it. I mean, I believe she didn't drink for 21 days, but whatever. So that was the deal. But she didn't care. We like went to a spot and I had a couple beers and hung out, and I'm helping her move storage and whatever, doing errands and junk with her. And yeah, but the next day we go to or we're planning to go to like a sweet spot on the river, like up the way. And she's like, oh, I got this friend at a bar. You'll probably like this bar. Mineshaft? I think it was called the Mineshaft. So we go to this bar, and sure enough, her friend's there, another dude, a couple people, grab a beer. 1 beer turns into 2 beers. Someone buys me a shot. And then she invites a friend to join us. We roll out. I grab a couple 6-packs for me and that dude. Scoop him up again. The person she's staying with gave us like mushroom capsules. She just like crushed up some psychedelic mushrooms in these little like mellow capsules. Like not supposed to be a full dose or whatever. Just like a little, just not a micro dose, but half a dose. I don't know what it was. So took one of those. Get to the river. River's freaking beautiful. There's a mini waterfall. You can swim up behind that. We're just having a good time. Then this whole crew of dudes, 3, 4, 5 people, they show up and they see us with beers. Me and her friend who's there now, and they're like, "Oh, I'll trade you acid for beer." And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, reach in the bag, take what you want." So we end up hanging out with them for a while, and then we're like, all right, finally we gotta head out of there. Taking a sip of this beer. So we head back. I think we did more psychedelics, maybe some more of the acid they gave us, or some more beer, and we get back to so my friend, she's staying with somebody, like she lost her place, so we get back to his place, but we're hanging out there for a while, the 3 of us, but then the guy who owns the place comes, and he's had some personal issues, and he's going to be going to sleep, so it's kind of like we should probably get out of there. So my friend, she drops me and this dude we met at the bar earlier off at his place, and she leaves and just leaves me with that dude. This dude we met at the Mineshaft place, because she wasn't really taking many psychedelics and she wasn't drinking at all, but we were fired up. There was no going to sleep for us. So this is just a few days ago, mind you, now. So we're hanging out, and then he's just like flipping on, starting to run out of beer, which is sort of an issue, but we're fired up, just energy from all the psychedelics. And we're watching like Taylor Swift videos and stuff, and I'm finding a way to get into it. I'm okay. Like, he loves this stuff. He's like all up into Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, just, I don't know, pop culture, that, extrapolate from that. That's his thing. And, I'm finding a way to get into it. I'm high as hell. And these are all these songs that I've heard a million times, but I've never looked up to watch a music video of like, shake it off, all this stuff. Like, I don't know what these videos look like. So whatever, I'm finding a way. I'm taking the production point of view from all this stuff. I'm making it work. But then this turns into cop videos, and still I'm making it work. And then the cop videos turn into like, let's watch some porn. And I'm like, all right, now I'm watching porn with this dude, and he's flipping through porn, and I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I've kind of paid my dues with this stuff. Like, I've made it work, and finally the sun's coming up, and I'm like, I'm really over all this stuff. Like, I've extended my chameleon, I can get into anythingness just about as far as it can go, and the sun's come up, and we're in his RV watching all these videos and stuff, and now freaking porn, and he's gay too, so he's like, what, he's scrolling through this porn, and I can tell he's like trying to find this porn that's like, he's trying to find the perfect porn, which was kind of the funny part, which is why I could get into it. He was just kind of like really like curating his porn scrolling, like trying to find something that both of us could enjoy. But at the same time, I'm just like, we could always scroll back to his Swift videos. It's, I don't know, it's funny and strange. But when we're dipping, he's in an RV, so like every once in a while, he's sneaking beers from somewhere, because we ran out of beers, and it's like, we're out of beer, but every once in a while he disappears, and he's like, I shouldn't do this, But then he comes back with 2 beers. Like maybe he's robbing a neighbor or just like hitting a stash that he shouldn't. But we're also both dipping in and out to go pee, like right outside the door every once in a while. So, anyways, once the sun is like kind of up, like he's getting deeper into the fact that porn's on, like getting into it a little bit. It's not getting hardcore. And I dip out to go take a pee, but when I'm out there, I'm like, maybe I should just go. So my bag is still out there, so I grab it, and I'm like, I'm just gonna grab my bag and I'm gonna go. And if there's a beer store immediately, maybe I'll grab some beer and come back. But if not, I'm just gonna go because it's getting a little funky and it's diminishing returns, and eventually we're gonna have to go to sleep, and I just don't want to sleep there. So I just keep walking. I just keep walking and walking and walking, and next thing I know, I'm on the road to Reno. I stick out my thumb, and some dude picks me up. He takes me to frickin' Truckee, hour and a half. Beautiful drive. Beautiful drive. Some dude who used to sell weed to everybody in Truckee until stuff got recreational. It got hard for him to cope. Perfect person to pick me up because I'm still buzzing. I'm not out of my mind, but I'm not totally legit. Like normal-ish, mostly normal. He takes me to Truckee. Even when I get to Truckee, I'm like, I don't want another ride right away. I need to walk this thing off. And it's early. It's still early. It's like 7, 8 a.m. by the time I get to Truckee. Like, sip of beer. So, luckily, where he dropped me off, it wasn't an easy get back on the highway. It was like, I did have to walk for like 45 minutes, which I was totally cool with because it was beautiful and sort of felt like I needed to sober up, just like psychedelically in a way. Like I said, I'm not hallucinating. I'm not totally out of my mind, but I'm not like a great conversationalist, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm a little bit awkward. So the 45 minutes was good. And then I got picked up by this dude who's just said he was going to Reno for a haircut. Mind you, I'm less than an hour from Reno. So I guess it was worth it for this guy to go to Reno to save like, I don't know, $7 for a haircut, whatever it was. So ride to Reno with that guy, get there, dropped off near downtown, start walking downtown. It's still early. It's like 9 a.m. And I booked my room on the way. I got one of those emails. It's like, come stay for 2 free nights. So just because I'd been there like a year and a half ago and gambled a little bit, like I said, they'll give away rooms for nothing. They don't care anywhere, any way to get you in there. So I went over there and they let me check in early. Boom, crashed out for hours. And it's been kind of epic since I've been here. So actually, this is going to be my 4th night. So after a night and a half or something, I managed to book another 2 free nights using the same email at a different casino. There's 3 casinos that are kind of linked. Circus Circus, El Dorado, Silver Legacy. And I guess like it didn't get put through the system that I used the offer. So yeah, I just extended it to 4 nights different. I had to change rooms, change casinos. And it's been a little bit epic because I went and played some craps and I won and then I lost. And I lost some more. And then I lost a bunch more. And then I won it all back just tonight. I won it all back. And then some. I don't know how much I'm up. I'm probably up $100 or something. But yeah, I was down quite a bit. 600-700 or something. I think at the very bottom of it. And I thought, I was like, man, I was down money I don't even have. That's money I don't even have. Well, technically I have it. But man, I barely got it all back. I've had a buffet every day I've been here. And that, count that in the money I was down. So basically I'm going to leave here, free food, free places to stay, and up like $80, $120. I made it. I'm getting through. I've caught up on a ton of sleep despite all that shenaniganery. All that. Caught up on a ton of sleep. Yeah, ate a bunch of food. I'm on a good food rhythm now. I'm like not even that hungry. So, anyways, that's all that. That's all that catch up. That's how the casino scene works. If you're in Reno and Vegas, you basically stay for free. So now, yeah, I'm gonna get as much sleep as I can tonight. Wake up tomorrow. I'm not too worried about it. Morning, afternoon. Get on the road to start heading east. My next big stop is Minneapolis. I got a friend to see there, but I'm really not concerned with the path getting there. There's a lot of people I could see on the way. There's a lot of different roads, and it's all about the same amount of distance. I can go a lot of different paths from here to Minneapolis, and we'll kind of see what happens. We'll see what happens. So that's my little data dump on you guys. Thanks for listening. I always like putting this stuff out here, and I know a lot of people like to hear what it's like to just be free flowing out here. That's basically how it goes. Yeah, a lot of random camping, a lot of being up for anything, a lot of putting up with dudes watching Taylor Swift and gay porn and RVs, you know? Yeah, I don't know. You gotta be ready for anything if you want to live and do everything, I guess. That's part of it. So, sorry for the mic distortion there. It's been a good run. So, yeah, it should be an interesting road to Minneapolis. It's a 26-hour drive if you're going to punch it into Google. But like I said, like you can go 3 very distinct ways to get there. You can go 80 most of the way. You can go 80 and up through and up into Montana to get there. You can go 80 and up through South Dakota to get there. So, I'm stoked. If I get there in 3 days, if I get there in a week and a half, it's going to be freaking great. Either way, maybe I'll do a podcast with my buddy there too. We'll see. I've seen him in, that's why I'm going to Minneapolis, mostly, or entirely. I know a few people there, potentially, but mainly I got this one friend who I've seen in a dozen countries, 20 states, Alaska, Florida, Arizona, Nevada, California, Netherlands, Turkey, Australia, Thailand. I've seen this guy everywhere, but I haven't seen him in Minnesota, so I'm about to do that. Maybe I'll get a podcast with him. Should be good. So, that about wraps it up. And, yeah. As always, I will see you down the road. With all my shit straight, I'll get my big brain.